So I use ChatGPT and SPOTIFY API to create an app that generates a silly description of one of your recently played songs, and you have to guess it. Now the idea may sound really stupid, but I've spent days working on it, so let's get started.
I love you.
Now to start this project, first we need to make a plan. I'm gonna follow a 5-step plan for this project. The first step is to implement Spotify sign-in for the user so that we can get a random song from their recently played tracks. Next, we're gonna have to find a way to get the lyrics of that song, and then we can use ChatGPT to describe that song in a funny or silly way. Finally, we have to make a web app so that we can stitch everything together and complete the game. So let's start with the first step. Now to use the Spotify API, we need to first make a developer's account and then create a new application. Then we can use the client ID and the client secret key and write some JavaScript functions to allow users to sign in using their Spotify account. The process is a little more complex, so let's try to understand it. Okay, so I've broken down the entire process of Spotify authorization in 3 steps. In the first step, our application will make a GET request to Spotify account service with the client ID and some other fields. In return, the Spotify account service will return us a auth code. Then our application will have to make another request to the Spotify account service, but this time it will make a request with auth code and client secret. This time the Spotify account service will return access token to us, and finally we have to use this access token and make a request to Spotify web API to get the user's recently played songs. So this is the entire 3-step process that we have to implement in order to get the recently played songs from the user's playlist. So now that we have the random song from the user's recently played list, the next step for us is to get the lyrics of the song. Luckily, this is a really simple task for us because all we have to do is use our npm package that enables us to use the Genius Lyrics API, and with a simple line of code, we can get the lyrics of any song. Finally, as the last step of this project, we are going to create OpenAI developer's account and get our own API keys. Then we're going to use the node module ChatGPT to interact with the OpenAI APIs and generate silly descriptions for the lyrics of the songs that we have generated using the previous steps. And then I combined all the functionalities from the previous steps into a single Next.js application. So this is how the app looks right now. We have 2 sections, home and about. The about section is just a simple description of the app, and in the home section right now we can see a login button. If I press the login button, I will be authenticated using this Spotify API. Now since I've previously authenticated already, therefore it did not ask me for additional consent. Now that we have authenticated with the Spotify API, we can start playing the game. So when I hit the play button, the app will find a random song from my recently played playlist, and then it is going to generate the lyrics for the song and then send it to ChatGPT to summarize it in a funny way, and there you go. We have a funny description of a song, and now since I've already heard this song, I know what song it is, so I'm gonna type the name of the song and hit enter, and it will tell me if my guess was correct or incorrect. So yeah, that's pretty much all this application can do. So this is a really stupid app that I worked on in the past couple of days. If you found this project interesting, then please consider liking this video, subscribing to this channel, and leave a comment for me.
Like the Atlantic, and I'm going down like the Titanic.